Hello, and you are listening to Tech Tonic Podcast, episode 6 of season 2, or at least season 2021. As promised, we are back this week again from last week. And from last week, there has been quite a few things happening, okay? For one, there was a few phone launches that happened in the past week, at least in Malaysia, but not just Malaysia, globally as well. For example, the Samsung Galaxy A series has just landed, last week, and they revealed the pricing and whatnot as well.
Yeah.
Poco Phone launched two new phones, the Poco F3 and the Poco X3 Pro. These two are like affordable options, if you may. Although Poco phones are not actually very expensive lah, but more affordable stuff is still better than nothing, right? It's still good.
Yeah, and they are, I think, sub 2,000 ringgit, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, somewhere there. And Instagram, they launched something called My Reels on Facebook and Instagram in Malaysia. And it's the first time ever that Instagram is having, Instagram music in Malaysia. And they announced this music feature like quite a while ago, actually, and it's nothing new, but in Malaysia it's something new lah. Last week we just had it, and yeah, now everybody's playing with My Reels and music basically on Instagram. So if you check your Instagram feed, everyone's playing songs and whatnot. It's crazy, but it's quite fun.
Yeah.
Right.
And you will realize that short form videos are all reels right now.
Yeah, so
you don't
it's more
have
like
Instagram video. Yep.
So Instagram is becoming more TikTok. But I guess that's a good thing lah, right? Because, TikTok contents are kind of like the in thing now, and the way they create videos on TikTok, at least, is just amazing. It's so fast, right? And I think Instagram is trying to make up ground with Reels, at least. And it kind of looks good. I kind of like it.
I actually like it because a lot of the short form content actually is pretty good.
Yeah. And then Epson launched their new laser projectors, which is very, very, very small stuff. And it's supposed to come with a Yamaha speaker, so technically you don't really need to buy a sound system with a projector, but I always recommend you do, because the speakers on a projector is always not usually that great. Not sure about this one though, because this is a Yamaha powered speaker, so we'll see when it comes to our review box. OnePlus launched their new new phones with Hasselblad cameras. Finally, we see the 48 megapixel Hasselblad camera in a smartphone. Kind of something that we've been waiting for a long time, but here it is. Okay, and then the Oppo Find X3 Pro finally launches in Malaysia alongside the Anko X wireless earphone. And we have been reviewing the Anko X. It's amazing. Okay, for its price, I think it's actually quite good. It's 699 ringgit. And the Oppo Find X3 Pro is 4,299 ringgit. Now, last week, we also mentioned something about a cybersecurity attack that happened to one of the big corporations. And we can finally reveal to you, although all of you already knew, that the big company in question is Acer. And this affects Acer globally. So they were hit with a $50 million ransomware. And their emails are basically down for the whole week. We are not even sure whether they have recovered, okay? But yeah, it's happened, okay? And thing is, it's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, cybersecurity attack that has happened so far. The ransom is about $50 million, and we all only knew that it's done via Microsoft Exchange, I think.
Yeah, it was a fatal flaw in Microsoft Exchange, which was patched, I think. But not really Acer's fault at this point, if I remember correctly.
No, it's not really Acer's fault, as far as I can remember, because I think I can't confirm this, but I think they were transitioning a lot of their stuff into Microsoft Microsoft 365 and Microsoft Azure, if I'm not wrong. And within that transition, that kind of happened.
Yeah.
We're not
So
sure lah. Okay, what's the real cause or how it actually happened? But this affects the company as a whole. But at least it's not affecting the Acer PCs. Okay, so if you just bought an Acer PC or you're planning to buy an Acer PC, you are not affected completely. You are going to be okay. This only affects the internal teams, if I'm not wrong.
yeah, I think the biggest takeaway from this is that end users are safe. There's no
Yes.
vulnerability in your Acer laptops.
Yes, because we are both using Acer laptops and so far no problem lah. So okay lah.
Yeah.
And you also have to remember that the cyber attack also targets very specific things in the company. So it doesn't affect any consumer laptops because they are running on a completely separate server base and whatnot from the company PCs or the company servers. You are not actually connected to them at all. So whatever information that you have, it's stored in your PC is going to be safe. That's all you have to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it.
Correct. And the other big news of last week was basically Microsoft. Okay, they want to buy another, kind of like a chat platform, messenger, not messenger lah, kind of like a voice chat platform that we are
They
recording
want,
over right now.
yeah,
Actually,
they want to take over Discord, and I don't know whether
we're not
that's a good thing though.
we're not keen.
Yeah.
If you've seen history, basically this looks like history repeating itself, right? Because one of the first video chat platforms in the world, Skype, was bought over by Microsoft at one point. And where is Skype now? It's like not available. Not to say not
Yeah.
available. It's
It
integrated into Microsoft Teams, but
you don't see any of the chat platforms that they have bought in the past years
yeah.
thriving. I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
Microsoft seems to be the place where chat and communications platforms go to die.
I think that's just basically not really icing. It's basically just saying it kind of. How do I put it? What do you call
Bluntly.
that word? Oh my gosh, I actually forgot that word. It's an understatement. Yes, understatement. Microsoft is where a lot of apps go to die. It's not
That is very
just
true.
it's not just chat apps or video calling apps and stuff like that. Microsoft is where a lot of apps die.
Yeah. So, but which is very weird considering that one of the first successful chat platforms was actually MSN Messenger.
Yeah, and one of the best video calling platforms at its time was Skype because I remember doing Skype calls with my sister when she was in Australia and things like that, and it was great. You just had to buy a webcam at the time and just figure out how to plug in your webcam into the PC, get Skype, and make sure your sister has Skype, and it works just instantly out of the box. And it became kind of the benchmark of every video chat platform we can find today, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
But
was
you
Skype.
don't see it anywhere now.
Correct. So it's kind of sad for us when Skype basically announced that, oh yeah, we're gonna close down, or kind of like that. And then when Microsoft announced that they're gonna buy over Discord, oh my gosh, I was so scared.
Yeah, and to be very honest, I don't think they want Discord as a platform. They want the technology behind it because the amount of data that we send over Discord, especially if you're gamers, like you're sending screenshots, videos, quickies, things like that over Discord, and it's able to handle it really, really well with good
Yep.
latency. And you can
Yep.
even stream to your friends nowadays.
Correct. And this kind of reminds me of Microsoft's effort to push Mixer.
Yeah.
That streaming platform. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that kind of failed miserably.
Yeah, but we can only hope that this is Discord's way of pushing up their market value before they declare an IPO. We
Maybe
can only
because
hope.
because Microsoft is basically talking about 10 billion US dollars in in price here. So maybe Discord is just saying that we are maybe going IPO, we are maybe going public, and we just want to know how much we are valued at right now, because they have been like a free platform for everyone anyway. So there's no ads. You don't put ads on Discord. They build communities and stuff like that, and it's all free. You don't have to pay for anything like that.
Yep,
So
and they
yeah,
have the most active community with the largest amount of members in the world,
correct,
if I'm not mistaken.
correct. But yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see what Microsoft does with this, okay, and where this goes, I think. And there's another big thing for Malaysians, at least. Disney Plus is finally coming to Malaysia. Like, finally, everybody has been asking us, hey, when is Disney Plus coming? When is Disney Plus coming? And now I can finally say that Disney Plus is finally, officially coming to Malaysia.
Around the
What was the
corner.
specific date?
I don't think we can reveal that yet.
Yeah. Well, I think it's sometime this week or next week. We'll let you know. You will see it on our website anyway. Okay, we're gonna announce it, and we're gonna talk about pricing then. Right now we don't have any information on the official pricing just yet. Okay, but on that subject, is it worth subscribing to another OTT? This is what we call over the top service, right? And is it worth spending more money into buying more over the top on demand video service system? Because we already have Netflix in Malaysia, and that's the most dominant streaming platform ever. And then there's
Mm-hmm.
also Amazon Prime, which is really picking up its paces in Malaysia. There's HBO Go as well, which is also having really, really, really unique, good contents for the Malaysian market, right? So,
Yep.
is it worth us spending more money, let's say, on Disney Plus? What do you think, Julian?
I think it really depends on what their strategy is going to be when they enter Malaysia, because to be very honest, what it's becoming is that if you add up all your subscriptions one by one,
Mm-hmm.
you're ending up paying a lot more for a lot less when it comes to content,
That is
compared to
true.
your normal satellite TVs.
That is true. Because Netflix, let's put it this way, Netflix is going to cost you at least 17 ringgit for the mobile
Yep.
plan, and you're not
Yep.
going to even get 4K contents on that. You're going to get maximum full HD contents. Not even HDR, some of them. And already at this point, me and Jivan, we really don't know what else to watch on Netflix.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of great
literally
shows. There's a lot of great shows.
literally uh, every once in a while we'll be like, oh, what are you watching on Netflix? Because
Yeah.
we have exhausted our recommendations, that even Netflix algorithm is recommending a lot of things that we really don't watch.
Exactly. And then
And
there's
also,
Prime Video, right?
yeah,
That you pay, I think, about 26 ringgit a month for. And there's like a lot of contents there, but even then, it's not every content that we watch there. We don't watch everything there.
yeah, and it's a lot of Indian content on Prime for now.
Yeah, for some reason, right? There's a lot of
Yeah,
that, and that's the thing. There's still a lot of good contents within Netflix and Prime itself, right? And if you're paying for a premium membership on Netflix, and you share it with your friends, let's say 5 of your friends, you're technically per person paying about 11 ringgit, let's say. Okay, right now
yeah,
11 to 12 ringgit including taxes, okay? And if you're sharing your Prime membership with your friends, you can share, I think, up to 3 or 4 people, I think. And I think you're paying just about 8 ringgit for that membership per person if you're paying for that. And if you
yep,
add Disney Plus, maybe, how much would that be? And you're basically paying, if you're paying everything on your own, you're nearly paying like 100 ringgit every month,
I thought.
for something that you can share, yes, but the contents are not, I don't know.
Yeah, and you also have to keep in mind we have Paramount Plus and things like that are being launched in the US. And if
Mm-hmm.
everybody launches their own platforms,
Yep.
technically Netflix library is going to shrink, which
Correct.
then you have to ask whether it's worth getting a Netflix subscription, or do you
Yeah,
pay more for people like Paramount and Disney Plus who all have their own platform?
exactly. Because right now, if Disney Plus launches in Malaysia, you have to think of the implication like this. A lot of the Disney and Marvel shows are going to leave Netflix. You're not going to get
Yep.
Avengers on Netflix. You're not going to get a lot of the Disney Marvel series on Netflix. Wonder Vision is already not on Netflix. Okay, Wonder Vision, you actually have to have a Disney Plus subscription to legally watch it, right? Even things like what was that movie that came out? This I think, was it the Star Wars
Justice League?
series? Yeah, the Star Wars series, The Mandalorian, right? Mandalorian was not legally available anywhere except for Disney Plus,
Yep.
right? You cannot watch it on any other platform. Not even the TV, the TV channels in US, not even CW. You have to
Y-
actually get a Disney Plus subscription, and it wasn't available in Malaysia. Don't ask us how we watched it, but um, that is
And on,
that is going to be a problem for Netflix.
and on top of that, we're also having issues with things like licensing and stuff like that. So
Yep,
Netflix, Disney, and stuff like that, apparently their libraries are not consistent across the board. So,
correct.
like, if you want to watch certain things like what was that show? Friends. I don't think it's
Mm.
available in US anymore, but
No,
it's
it's not
available
available
in
in US
Malaysia.
anymore. Yeah. So licensing is different in every country. Is if we are right, and it also shows from iflix. When iflix launched in Malaysia before Netflix came in, it had very good strong market position because it was the only streaming on demand video platform available for Malaysians, and they had very compelling shows, and they were licensing very good shows like Mr. Robot, right? That was a
Yeah.
very compelling show. They at one point were on track to license Sherlock. I think Netflix Malaysia beat them to it. I think, if I'm not wrong. Okay, you can correct me on that. But they didn't get a lot of licensing, and Netflix Malaysia basically beat them to it, and that's why iflix has shrunk to the size that it is right now. And
Yeah.
would we see that happening with Netflix? Maybe, I don't know.
I think Netflix has been smart in creating their own content, and their content is good. The
Yeah,
biggest
that is given. Yes.
the effect that we can see these multiple platforms having is shows like Marvel's Defenders, Jessica Jones, Iron
Mm-hmm.
Fist, Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
They were all ended on Netflix, so that the 2 year deal can the 2 year waiting period can actually pass before they are brought over to Disney Plus. And we're
Yep.
seeing some use of the same actors in bigger Disney products, Disney movies. So
Correct.
it you have to think like how many more of these co-produced shows are going to suffer because of this type of I want it on my platform, not yours. And
Yeah.
does that mean that we are going to see a lot of these co-produced shows just go to the wayside because they are becoming more territorial about their content and their characters?
Mm-hmm.
And because okay, I give it to Disney Plus. They are doing a fantastic job with rollout. I mean, it's
Yeah.
less than a year and a half and they are already in coming into Malaysia and this side of the
Oh,
world.
yeah.
And
Netflix took about 2-3 years.
yeah, I think they took nearly about 5 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, something like that.
So they are moving pretty fast, but at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, how much content are they going to have? Now, of course, for Disney Plus, we all know that in India they launched as Disney Plus Star.
Mm-hmm.
where they had all the star produced content on their platform as well.
Yep.
But in Malaysia, we don't know what the arrangement is going to be like. And does more content on the platform mean that we are going to be paying a lot more for the price?
Yeah, well, we can only know when it launches lah, basically. Okay, and at this point, I'm not sure whether it's worth paying for more streaming services or Astro. We'll only find out also when they actually reveals the price later on.
Yeah.
I think that is all the time we have for the show. And the discussion between all these things is never going to end because there is going to always be more streaming services coming up in the future because all of these follows the success of Netflix. Everyone wants a piece of that cake. Netflix is making a ton of money. Disney wants a piece of that. It's Disney. It's Disney. They want money.
And you also have to remember that iflix has been bought over by Tencent.
Yeah.
And we haven't really heard much from there.
Yeah, well, maybe they'll have more Chinese contents later on lah. But iflix is free for now anyway. So you can go on iflix and watch whatever stuff they have there. I haven't gone on iflix for a while.
Yeah. I think the last show I actually watched was Malay. What was it? Gangster. KL Gangster.
KL Gangster. Yeah. Anyway, I think that is all the time we have for today. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to both of us rant about, Disney Plus. Not really rant lah, but rant about, paying for streaming services. This actually includes Tidal lah, because we're actually paying about 40 ringgit for our Tidal subscription, because we are doing a family subscription thing and stuff like that. And even Spotify charges you 25 ringgit for a family plan, somewhere there. Okay, that's not added the taxes just yet. So thank you for listening in. If you learned something, that's great, but thank you for listening in. Really, just being patient with our rants. We will come back next week with more topics. Not much is going on this week actually, but we will see. If you have any feedback, just let us know via our social media channels, or you can email us on our, if you can find our email on our site, that's www.techn.tv. Reach out to us on all our social media. It's TechN TV across the board, even LinkedIn. You can reach out to us. Let us know what you want to hear more of, We didn't introduce ourselves earlier. Jivan just reminded me, he reminded me on our Discord channel. He's like, you forgot to introduce us. Yeah, so I'm going to introduce me and Jivan and basically just outro us again. This has been me, Darwin, and Jivan, and the team from Tech and Tonic. And we will see you, or not see you, we will talk to you again next week. Bye-bye.
See ya.